Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Earley Show. I just had a great start to. I just was recording this, and my brother walked in, and it was a great start. I was fluent. I was here, but I love him. Like I genuinely unconditional. If I know unconditional love, it is the love that I have for that boy. Like I love him, but all right. Welcome to the Earley Show. If you haven't tuned in before, I talk about weights, life, and wellness. I guess the wellness aspect, mental wellness, and lessons I've learning, lessons that people have tried to convey to me, which I'm going to touch on today. But first of all, since we're talking about my brother, when I started lifting, I feel like every lifter goes through this stage. When they start lifting, they see your first gains, your ego goes, like, oh, I got 14-inch biceps, look at me. That type of shit. So the first time I lifted with my brother, a couple years ago, like back when I first started lifting, and I remember when we lifted, it was not a collaborative lift. I was there to show off me. It was about me. I wanted to show him how much weight I could do. I was lifting more weight than I could. I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. You know, it's your first year lifting. You're just kind of in there, you know? And I didn't enjoy myself. I don't think he enjoyed himself. I was like, look how big my muscles are. Look at my six-pack, yada, yada, yada. But today, we went to Forever Strong. Shout out Forever Strong. We had a lift where we collaborated. Like, I was more helping him. We were collaborating on the lift. It was really wholesome, to be honest. So what I have here today, rather than trying to show him up, I tried to help him. It was more of helping each other get better than competition. And that's why the gym is such a great environment, because nobody's going there for you. I don't go to the gym for you. Not once have I gone to the gym to be like, to get my deadlift better for you or get my pecs better for you. Nor have you showed up to the gym. Like maybe sometimes you're trying to impress that girl you like. Yeah, sure. But she's there for her. And that's kind of the magic about the gym, that everybody's there for themselves together. You're not there together, but you're all there chasing the same goal. You know, the result of your goal is whether you move more weight, getting bigger chest, you know, trying to get off, whatever it is. But it's a pretty cool place. Yeah. So today's lift, me and my brother, we deadlifted. We're working on, he doesn't deadlift much, so we're working on his form, trying to find out which stance is right for him, which is great. Like, as much as it's good for him to kind of get that rhythm down, I was learning a lot. I was watching him and I was saying, he's doing this, not that. It was good to see somebody else try to get their form right, and it kind of helped me like, I need to do that more. The shit that I was telling him, I need to practice what I preach. And I said some things, I'm like, wait, I don't even do that. Like, I know I need to do that, but that's not on my checklist before I go through it. So that was really cool to see. So today we deadlifted, we did some curls. It was a pull day, some pump up the tire when you get the plate. And you, one of my favorite, really gets the traps going. They're not huge yet, but they will be. What else we do? We did some rows, curls, deadlifted for about 30 minutes. So yeah, it was a pretty relatively short lift, but it was good. It was focused. My bicep pump, crazy. Yeah. So I was going to talk about forearms today, but I'm going to skip that because I got some other things I want to talk about. We'll save that for the next time. KG plates. So quick shout out to Forever Strong. They have a cool ass atmosphere. They got great people there. Forever Strong is in Eugene. Great people there. Cool ass atmosphere. My computer's not charging. Now it is. And just overall great environment. But one thing, okay, first of all, I'm not a powerlifter. I just lift weights. More on the bodybuilding side, but I just lift weights. Like, I just enjoy it. So, but powerlifters, because when y'all compete in kg. And in Forever Strong, on the deadlift area of it, they only have kg plates. And for somebody that normally doesn't, when I'm at the school rec, I'm not lifting in kg plates. that's like it's not a different lift, but it's like I don't look at the weight the same. I don't see 4 plates, think 405. I see three red circles, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm lifting. Like I genuinely, I don't. I'm tired. I'm panting after my lift. I don't know how much weight I'm moving. So it's interest. Like it's really, it's. So that's what I'm talking about. I care less about the weight I'm moving because I genuinely do not know how much weight it is. This dude Jay, I was benching with Jay. He's a trainer there, or he works there. We were benching, right, and I was like, "How much is this in pounds?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." I was like, I asked again, like, "Wait, how much?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. Just lift." And it was almost freeing in this aspect that I was just trying to better myself. I was lifting what I could lift that day rather than comparing myself to previous days. And yet again, power lifters, I get that you're on a schedule, but somebody that's like you get on a schedule to get to this point, but for somebody who just lifts, just trying to get better, just trying to get bigger, trying to get stronger, that was freeing, man. Like I genuinely do not know how much weight I moved today. But I got to a point, like just keep adding weight until I got to a point where I hit my like three reps. I'm like, that's good. Like I don't want to hurt myself, but that is doing some deficits. Like that's a good weight for me. And it was really like, so I think if you normally lift in LB pounds, find a gym with kg, bro. Different workout. You think it's just like a mental, you turn off that worrying about how much weight you're moving. Like I don't have the energy to, so I definitely recommend trying that. If you don't have that in your facility, just at some point find a gym that's in kg and don't worry about the weight, just worry about how much it feels. Yeah, so that's my reel about kg plates. I might have had a rant about that before, but that's that. My computer is heating up. So on to the wellness kind of portion. I go quick, but yet again, I'll say this every episode. This is the Earley Show. This is my show, man. Giuseppe in Doughvale in Brooklyn, New York. I got this job working for this Russian. I think he was Russian or German, heavy, thick accent, kid. Immigrant, opened a pizza parlor in Brooklyn, New York, Doughvale. Highly recommend. Great vibes, great atmosphere. Bring your own booze. There's a store right down the road where you can get some beer, whatever you want to drink. And I worked for him about 2 weeks, and it was just hella far. It was like an hour to get there, and I just didn't need to be traveling an hour to work, right? And one of the things he left me with when I called him and I said, "Hey, Giuseppe, thank you for having me, but I found a different opportunity. I will no longer be working for you." And he explained it in a chopped way with lots of he was hilarious. He would, when DoorDash drivers came in, he would shoot them with a nail gun and say, "Wait outside." So that's kind of the person he was. But he told me before, he said, "Picture you're in snow." Yet again, in a butchered, loud, drunk cigarette. Fucking awesome. But he told me, before you take that next step, and he was like you're stepping in snow, make sure it's solid before you take that next step. Make sure the step you're stepping now, that's flat before you take that next step. If that makes sense. Before you take that I'm stepping with my right foot, make sure that right foot is solid. Make sure that when I step down, I am not falling through before you take that left foot and step down. And then make sure that left foot is solid. And then take that right foot, and then you keep walking. That's how you walk. In the moment, I didn't really realize what that meant. Like, yeah, I got the ideas. Dude, my boss was yelling at me drunk after work, but before you're ready to move on, and I'm starting to see that lesson play out in my life now, that sometimes I just gotta slow down, make sure this shit's good before I move on to the next shit. Make sure this project's solid before I step over there, because this step, when I put all my pressure on this foot, I might fall down. So That's one thing that he taught me, and I'm just realizing it 2 years later that I'm really seeing it in my life. Like, make sure this part is solid. This part is unbreakable before you take that second step. And so when you take that second step, that shit behind you is good. It is solid. It is contained. I guess I propose the question to you: where in your life can you see this? Where in your life have you stepped too quick? Have you tried to do too much too fast? Run too fast on the ice, and you've fallen through before you knew what was solid, before you knew the ice was unbreakable. So yeah, I guess that's just food for thought. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, because when he told it to me, I understood what he was saying, and he repeated to me like 10 times, like, but I got it. Like, now I'm looking back, and since I've moved to Oregon, I've tried to run too quick across the ice before knowing the ice is solid. And I know that's a really metaphorical, really analogy example, whatever. But yeah, that's one thing. A shout out to Giuseppe from Doughvale. If you're in New York, go check it out. Great spot, great date night vibes. Make sure that foot is solid before you take that next step. Another thing, he gave me, yeah. So that's kind of the wellness, or the wellness aspect of the pod. Last thing, I'll leave you with a story from Giuseppe from Doughvale. So Giuseppe from Doughvale came up the stairs after my shift one time and brought me 2 40-pound dumbbells. Yet again, I took the train there. I had to walk. Like, do not know why I started working there. It was far as hell. He gave me 2 40-pound dumbbells, and he said, "You want them?" He's like, he talking about, he knows I lift. He's like, "You want them?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Well, I didn't say it like that. I'm like, "Yes." I was like, "Yes, I want them." And he was like, "All right, here you go." Maybe that's racist or whatever, but if you go to Doughvale and hear this man, you'll know what I'm talking about. And he gave me these 40-pound dumbbells, and I farmer walked those from Brooklyn to 76th Street. Got on the metro, sat next to them on the metro. I probably, like, by the time I got home, I was stopping, like, the last 200, 300 meters, I was stopping every 10 meters just to set them down and take a break. But I'm telling you, my shoulders have never been more on fire. Because, like, I couldn't just leave them there. Like, someone would take them. But he gave them me in Brooklyn. I don't know. I got on the 6 train. Farmer carried them. 10-minute walk to the 6 train. Far on the metro. Switch metros. Up. Another 10-minute walk. Carrying them like this. By the time I got home, my shoulders were on fire. But two of the greatest things he gave me, 2 40-pound dumbbells, and the lesson: before you take your next step, make sure this step is solid. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Earley Show. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share. Talk about weights, life. This is the Earley Show. Thanks for tuning in.